Hi there. For today's video, I've got a few notes, so I hope you don't mind me looking down now and then. I've gotten a couple of comments that sort of questioned the direction that I was taking with many of the videos. They questioned the fact that although I profess to be getting away from gear and getting into the nuts and bolts of actually photography, composition, and so on, that I seem to be going back and forth between the two. But here's something I've noticed about the videos I've been making. And that is that the majority of people seem to want something of a hardware component in there. There seems to be a split somewhat. And it's an unfortunate split because basically both are important. Now I know I've been saying, well, gear is not that important. Well, all I meant by that is that as long as you have decent gear, then you're okay. You're not going to get great photography in all situations with one particular type of camera anyway, regardless of what it is. If you're going to take a huge professional DSLR into a social event, people are probably going to react to it, so any chance of candid photography there is somewhat more limited. At the same time, if you take your iPhone on an African safari, you're not going to get great images of animals at a distance. You're going to need something that's more appropriate for that. So, gear has its place. The other thing is this: technical issues and technical skills are important to boost one's artistic skills. If one has a great eye for composition but does not know anything about the camera, then hopefully the automation in the camera will get you what you want, but it's hit or miss. To be a consistently good photographer, you need both sets of skills. You need to know your camera. You need to know the technical aspects of composition and so on. You need to know if you need new hardware. You need to understand when it is the hardware that's holding you back and not simply your skill set. At the other side of things, you might be a brilliant person when it comes to the details of the hardware. Your compositions might be spot on. You may have absolutely perfect white balance. You may have the sharpest images. But if you have no eye for composition, nobody's going to be terribly interested in those images. At least not for anything more than just, oh, look, this camera can take sharp pictures. Huh. So guys, we need balance. As a result, most of my videos are going to continue to look much like they have. There will be the rambling ones like this where I'm just expressing an opinion. There will be the technical ones where I will actually point out something about a particular camera or whatever. Discussions of trivialities such as brand name are pointless. So let's get away from that right away. This just eats into your learning time. It doesn't matter what brand you have. Now, of course, if you are a professional photographer and you're hard on gear and you need, fast repair turnarounds, things like that, then you probably need to stick to the big two because they're the ones that have the best reputation in that particular area. If you're a sports photographer, you're going to need a camera that's fast. You're going to need long lenses. If you're into wildlife, you're going to need long lenses. If you're into product photography, you're going to need, higher resolution. All that I've spoken about before. The point is that brand name is fairly trivial. Sensor size is fairly trivial. All of our modern cameras in the last 2 or 3 years will take great pictures. Now, as for my gear addiction, well, this bag right here, you may remember from an earlier video. Its contents may be somewhat different, but only because I've shuffled things around. If I open this up, I still have an EP5 in here. I still have a 3-lens prime kit of a 19 a 25 and a 60. I have a fisheye body cap lens and a few odds and ends and spare batteries and so on, just like I always did. So that hasn't changed. As for my SLR kit, well, half of it is watching us right now. My K5 is now pretty much my dedicated video camera. I will grab it and stick the weather-resistant lens on it and go out somewhere if I know that conditions are going to be bad and I don't want to risk my better camera. So, basically, I will continue much on the vein that I have. I have not been loading myself up with new gear. I can't say that I'm cured of my gear addiction, but things are much better. And of course, in future, I will be giving my insight into a lot of different things. So this video is basically just to say, yes, I know. I understand. Yes, I know I sometimes tend to sound like I'm contradicting myself because I'm trying to get away from gear and yet I'm, as we'd say in Newfoundland, face and eyes into it. But that's the way it'll be. So if you like this video, if you'd like to see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you think anybody will get anything from this, then share it. Bye for now.